Fermented soybeans is the worst thing in life. Take it from me. Don't eat it. Don't try it. 0 to 10, I don't recommend.
Welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of my Jamaicans living in Japan video. If you haven't watched part 1 of this video already, I'll leave it in the cards above or in the description bar below. If this is your first time watching my video, my name is Staecha and I go by Namaste on Instagram. So if you're interested, go ahead and check me out over there on the gram. Don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button below and turn on the post notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I have a new upload. Enough talking, let's continue where we left off in the last video. If you could go back to Jamaica right now, what would be the first thing that you do or eat?
The first thing I'd eat in Jamaica, patty. Patties, bro. Patties, jerk pork, KFC hot wings. So, patty. Yeah, man. I eat patty, I eat, brother. Eat patty. And then stew piece of pigtail. Patty.
Why, if I could have got Jamaica right now, the first thing what I do, of course, when I go to Jamaica, I have to tell my sister, yo, before you pick me up, ensure that you stop at KFC and eat spicy chicken, and stop at Tasties and get me a cheese patty, probably 2 cheese patties, because I am craving Jamaican food, of course. So those are the stuff that I would eat on my way to my yard.
I wouldn't focus on the first thing I'd eat because we have a Jamaican restaurant nearby and we cook. So I am not necessarily craving Jamaican food. I would probably just go out on the street. And I'm not a roadman, but I really miss being outside and blending in and hearing patois everywhere. So I'd probably just bask in that for a few minutes. That's all.
Alright, so for me, the first thing that I'd eat is, my god, 1 cheese patty. Like, this is my exact order, okay? I've like rehearsed this for the time when I step foot in Jamaica. 1 cheese patty, 1 chicken patty, 1 polka bread, 1 Big Joe orange juice. Wait, Big Joe have orange juice? 1 Big Joe box juice. Oh god. Box juice and a small soup. Chicken and soup only, right in a juicy beef. That's what I'd eat the very first thing. Like, I'm actually imagining, and I have told our parents that the next time we coming home, like, please meet me. Like, when you're at the airport, when I come out, please greet me with a patty. Please, may I beg you. As I said, I'm all about the food. As for things to do, I just want to go down to the little shop where me and my mother and my sisters normally hang out and just talk. You know, hear the taxi man them cuss out some people. So, alright, you know, just the culture and the happiness of the people. I would love to be able to hear that.
What do you miss the most about living in Jamaica?
Jamaica is a vibe and I miss that a lot. In Japan, you're really secluded. No one really lives close to each other. Like, it's rare. So I really miss like the freedom. I miss everything, but it's just the vibe. The people, you know, I can talk to people. Like, I'm not going outside to be talking to no Japanese. First of all, they are not going to be talking to me. So,
Of course, I want to see my family. I haven't seen them in 3 years. And what else? I want to go to the beach, you know? Like, just, you know, Jamaica, there's nowhere like Jamaican beaches. So I want to just, you know, go to the beach, listen to music, not having to think about, oh, you're too loud or anything like that. Just, you know, I miss my country, man. I miss it.
I think it goes to show the food for me, 100%. It's the food for me, and then family right under there. I do love my family, and you know, family always comes first, but I tell you, the food, like, food makes my world go round. So food, family.
Yeah, the food and family and language.
People, the food, the seasoning, the flavor, them, all of them, something there. Me miss the whole of that, man. Yeah. Yeah, I miss the food, the seasoning, my family, my friends, the social, just the whole vibe of Jamaica, the whole, this atmosphere, parties, church, my church friends, traveling, driving around. I don't drive in Japan, so I used to drive in Jamaica. I miss everything, football, just the whole dynamic. Just, I miss the whole of Jamaica, but the most, three F's: food, family, friends.
What has living in Japan taught you?
Patience. Patience. Okay? Listen. For me, as I said, I do not speak Japanese very well or even at all, if you want to put it that way. And so doing everything here, business wise, adult wise, doing things that you need to do as an adult, it takes so much extra time because you have to decipher through Google Translate. And the Japanese people too, if you walk in, some of the times they have this very confusing face, as if, they can't understand that you're an English speaker, and pop out the phone real quick and stuff. So something that might take you 10 minutes to do, if you're in an English speaking country, might take you 30 minutes to do here, because you're deciphering through language barriers and Google Translation, and Google Translate might not be cooperating and just all of that stuff. And so you have to learn to be patient, not get angry at them for not understanding what you are saying, but also them being patient enough with you to understand that you're a foreigner and you really do not understand Japanese. So yeah, patience. And Japanese, very, like, the people here, especially the customer service here, 100% very, very, very good. In the grocery stores, you generally pack your own bag, but elsewhere, like if you're going like clothes shopping and so on, the cashier or the customer service person like usually packs your bag, and they are folding your clothes very neatly. It's not like in Jamaica where you get a one scandal bag and they throw everything in it and they give it to you and you're gone. It's not like that at all. Like, they really take the time, fold up things neat and nice, give you, which really does not make any sense, but it's their culture and that's how they do things. And so some of the times I'll be standing and I'm like, miss, please just put this stuff in the bag and give me the bag. Like, no need to be pampering all this, because I'm going to go home and tear it out anyway and throw it in the machine. So patience has been a big thing that I've learned here.
What I've learned from being here is that you can live anywhere. That's what I've learned. Japan is as different as it gets from Jamaica. And if you have a goal in mind, and if you're open-minded enough to adapt where necessary, and to learn, to open your mind to new practices, new ideas, then even with a language barrier such as this, because Japanese is not a language like Spanish or French, that is close enough to English to say, alright, maybe I can pick apart or try a thing, or rely on some grade 9, Spanish knowledge. Japanese is totally different. So it's a very different culture, very different language, very different food, but we have been surviving. And if we can live here, where can't we live? So that's my take. We can live wherever we choose to live, if we are open to putting in the work that it takes.
Living in Japan has taught me to be independent in the sense that I have to rely on myself for things. So when I was back home, I had someone for everything. So I had someone to accompany me to the supermarket. I had someone to accompany me to eat lunch at work, to get lunch at work. So there was always someone or people around me. So moving here, I had to do everything on my own. So that was a real shocker for me, and that was something that I had to learn to get used to. But I think it's fine, because once you have the mentality and you want better for yourself, then some of the things, that the negative stuff that you might encounter, they won't be such a big deal, because your eyes are on the end goal.
Living in Japan has taught me that you don't need a big space to do a lot of things, right? Japan, apartments are small, a lot of things are small, but it has really taught me that you're really responsible for yourself in these streets. And it has taught me a lot of peace as well, like peace of mind, because you're so secluded and by yourself. It gives you a lot of time to think, and it can be good and it can be bad, but for me, mostly good. So that's good for me.
Living in Japan has taught me to be independent financially, emotionally, and whatever Shelly is left there. I have improved my cooking skills, improved in how I handle conflicts. I try to avoid them as best as possible. Even minor things I used to argue about in Jamaica, I don't do that anymore.
Okay, let's talk culture shocks. What were some of the culture shocks that you had when you came to Japan?
First culture shock I had when I came to Japan is that they sleep on the floor. No, they sleep on something by the name of a futon. For me, it's like a comforter. That's what I know that is to mean. I'm used to my bed. So that was, for me, I was like, what are you people doing? Like why? Why are we doing this? So that was really a culture shock for me. Like, no way, like, no way. Right? So when I came here, I was like, no, babe, no. Your girl gotta get her a bed. It's a futon, not for me, for you. You get what I mean? Another culture shock that I had was the whole, how they shower, right? They don't shower twice per day, and I'm used to that, even 2-3 times for the day in Jamaican culture. And how they do it, like, several persons having a bath in one water, and I'm like, oh, Japan, this is not the way.
Personally, for me, I don't think I've experienced many culture shocks or anything that really stood out where I'm like, oh my god, I cannot believe this is happening. When I came here, Adam was already here and we were already talking. He was, preparing me. I was more comfortable because I was coming to somebody that had been here for 8 months already, knows the ropes, knows basic things, and so he was able to show me around and get me used to things. I wasn't alone in an apartment trying to figure out language barriers and all of that. He was like, come, look, download Google Translate on your phone, do this to translate stuff and stuff. So he really helped me to settle down, and so I did not have any shocks.
I haven't experienced any culture shock. When I just came here, I was so focused on what I came to do. I didn't recognize the culture till after a little while.
Yeah.
But the language, I guess the language is a part of the culture.
Plus, coming in, exactly what you're getting yourself into. So, it's not like, oh my god, no English. You already know that.
But being in a place where there's no English, I had 0 Japanese coming in. So, it wasn't a shock that I had 0 Japanese. I knew that. And it wasn't a shock that most people didn't speak English. But being thrown into the situation is different from the idea of it. Because ordering food, it's a pointing game. And basic things become difficult.
I had many cultural shocks. So for example, like in the staff room, there is a sink and people would go there to wash their dishes. That's normal. But other people would also go there to brush their teeth, to spit, to do all manner of things. And I'm like, can you really do that in the same sink that you wash your dishes? Yeah, so that was a culture shock for me. And also another culture shock was the fact that on public transportation you can't talk on the phone. So if I get a phone call, an emergency, I can't talk on the phone because it's gonna be considered rude and it's forbidden. So of course, as a foreigner especially, you have to abide by the rules. So I have never, since my 3 years here, I've never talked on the phone while I'm in a train. So in Jamaica, everybody on their phone, always talking, playing music. Oh, there's no music on the buses as well, guys.
One of the first culture shocks I had in Japan was when the kids tried to stick their fingers up your butt. It's called a kancho. It's apparently a running gag, a big old joke that I don't find funny as a Jamaican, and most males don't find funny. Also, the fact that the boys here tend to have no lines between each other, no personal space. They will sit in each other's laps, they will touch each other's private parts and kick it and hit it and laugh and find it funny. I was just over it from the get-go. Another culture shock was the fact that I thought Japan was super advanced technologically, and not everywhere is like that. And even in the big cities, you know, in the food, the culture, like the food wise, I thought, oh, ramen, sushi, everything's gonna be like that. But then there's a whole world unexplored of food that is not really common. Raw eggs, no. Natto, hell no. Natto, fermented soybeans is the worst thing in life. Take it from me. Don't eat it. Don't try it. 0 to 10, I don't recommend.
How easy was it to transition from Jamaica to life in Japan?
I touched on this before.
Yeah, I think we've answered this along the way.
It was very easy for me because he was already here setting the pace and getting me ready and settled when I came. So it wasn't hard at all.
Yeah, for me, it might just be my personality, but wherever I am, I just adapt and do what I have to do.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big deal for me. The language, you know, as I keep saying, was the biggest thing to get over for me. But aside from that, yeah, different people, different culture.
Yeah. Okay.
The food, yeah, that is still tough, but not taste here now.
And I cook Jamaican. Okay?
Very well.
Okay.
Very well.
The transition for me from Jamaica to Japan was not seamless, but it was okay. Of course, the language barrier initially, the culture shock, the food. After a couple of months, I was in my element, like maybe 3 to 4 months. I was actually on my feet and moving around and, you know, enjoying Japan for what it is.
And the transition was good for me. I really didn't have any problems. I came with an open mind. Yeah. So I expected nothing, and I just adjusted accordingly. So the transition wasn't very hard. Probably the food, but I was like thinking to myself, if these people are eating whatever they're eating and they're living so long, then there shouldn't be any problem. If I'm eating these things, I maybe might just live as long as them, right? So the transition wasn't hard for me, separate and apart from, you know, like the language and being able to communicate and stuff like that. I bought food that I was familiar with at first, and it wasn't hard. The transition wasn't hard for me at all.
Remember that I came here with a few people, so at least we had each other to rely on. But like, you know, like my first winter here, because that was the very first time in my life that I was experiencing winter, it was very tough for me because here in Japan the apartments aren't fully ventilated. So it's like, even though you have a heater, it's not heating up the entire apartment. So if I should get up, I'm gonna feel cold. If I should go to the bathroom, definitely in there will be freezing. So that was like a struggle for me, like the first year and the second year. But now I've gotten used to, and I kind of know how to manipulate the whole heating thing in my apartment, so it's not as bad. But I'm telling you, like the first year it was horrible. As it relates to transportation, like getting around in Japanese and all of that, I was relying on my friend, and then I eventually learned how to get from one place to the next, because from a part-time job I had to learn how to do that. So it's not really difficult, you know. Once you come here with like an open mind, then everything will just go smoothly, you know. And also there are support groups here, so if you have a question that you need answers to, you can always post it in one of the groups on Facebook, or just contact somebody directly. So also you must try and make as many friends as you can, so that you are not alone when you are going through different situations.
What recommendations or advice would you give to Jamaicans who are thinking about coming to Japan to live and work?
Advice for Jamaicans coming here, I would say just come with an open mind. Try to do as much research as you possibly can, but also just bear in mind that the experiences that we have here might be totally different for you, and also different areas in Japan has different results. So if you live in the city in Tokyo, it might be a different scenario if you're living in the city in Osaka, because you know it's different places, so they have different ways of doing things, even though it's one Japan. Everything that you hear on the internet, just take it with a grain of salt. Oh, and also please respect the people, them culture. So if they say don't talk on the phone in the trains, please don't do that, because it's gonna look bad on us foreigners, because they're gonna say we come in here and not abiding by the rules.
Don't come. It's over. Don't come. You can't come because coronavirus. I'm kidding. My advice is if you want to come to Japan, please come here with an open mind. Come here to learn. Come here to develop yourself. Come here with goals and achieve them as best as you can. Because yeah, that's it. If you're tired of just living in Jamaica or just living in the West and want an adventure, if you're an independent type of person, an outgoing person, Japan is for you. If you're polyglot or someone that loves languages, Japan is for you. If you want to just see the culture for yourself and be a myth buster, stereotype breaker, yeah, Japan, sure, come on in.
I would say, first of all, congratulations. You're about to make one of the boldest moves that you'll ever make in your life. I hope it changes it for the better. And just come with limited expectations of what your life will be, because Japan is quite a bit much to get used to. The different cultures and all of that stuff, and I would say just go easy on yourself, take it one day at a time. So come with, I would say, just reasonable expectations. Also come with a goal. It doesn't matter what the goal is, come with a goal. There are people here that come without goal and they end up being here for a very long time, and maybe that works for them. But I say if you come with a goal, at least you have something looking forward to, so you're not so focused on, oh, I don't speak Japanese, oh, I miss my family, oh, this, oh, that. You are focused on achieving something. You know, if it means that achieving that lands you 5-10 years here, good. But at least you're not spending 5-10 years here miserable, you know, because you're working towards something, and that is something that you are doing for yourself, you know.
Also, two quick things, nothing might have touched on these. One, do as much research as I can before coming about Japan in general, but more importantly about whatever company you'll be a part of. You know, we're kind of assuming you're coming here to work. Mm-hmm. If you're coming to study, do some research about the school, the area, and don't think that Japan is just one place, one fluid culture everywhere. There are similarities, but you know, each city, each company, each whatever will have their own subculture. So no, you won't be able to know everything beforehand, but know as much as I can, so you don't have too many surprises. And the second thing is, don't expect that what you expect will be what you will see. So don't have your expectations too rigid. You know, things will change, things will be different. You know, there will be things that don't go according to plan. But you have to just have some patience and an open mind, and you have to be a flexible person. Be willing to work through difficult situations. You didn't get the apartment that you thought you were going to get, or something is different. Just relax, take it easy, and understand that it's going to be a process. It's going to take some time to settle in and get used to it. So don't come and expect that, okay, in 1 week I'm going to be up and running. That's not realistic. Sometimes it takes weeks, months, a year.
Yeah, and even though it is totally not necessary, I would advise you to learn conversational Japanese. If that is something that is important to you, to be able to communicate freely and just not have the rigmarole, learn some form of Japanese that can get you right.
And do not learn from anime. It's not real Japanese. Not useful Japanese. You might learn 1 or 2 real words, but you know, go on a language exchange site, iTalki or whatever, and just learn the greetings and basic stuff. Learn the names of food. Pork was one of my first words that I learned, because I don't eat pork. So knowing that word,
And Japan is a very pork-based.
it's a pork-centric.
society.
You know,
Yeah.
in the West, well, in Jamaica, it's all chicken. Chicken is the default meat. Here, pork is the default. I don't eat pork, so I need to be able to say, is pork in this? I don't eat pork. I don't want pork. No pork, please. I know every sentence that has to do with pork.
With the nick of the night.
Yeah, I can do the whole no pork thing. And not just pork, but all the other things that I can't eat.
So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Staecha's channel. And if you like my hoodie, this is from Pickles the Gaijin, which is a Jamaican YouTuber here in Japan. He has a merch. So anyone support Jamaicans in Japan, do their thing. And also I have my own YouTube channel. So if you want to check me out, my name is Sashoni. So on YouTube it's Sashoni's Life. If you want to follow me on Instagram, which I usually post daily, like stuff daily on my story, you can find me at Sashoni D. That's SACHONEYD. Yeah. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you maybe another time on Staecha's channel. Bye.
I just want to say thank you very much, Staecha, for this opportunity. It was a pleasure working with you, and I wish you all the best in everything that you do. Other Jamaicans who are looking to come to Japan, think about it, work on it. The world is a beautiful place. It's not only limited to Jamaica, so think on all these things. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at I_AM_ABBE. And you can also follow my business page at Opulux Collection, also at Nix_Nax, and also Shop Health and Wealth _Abby. So, Staecha, thank you very much. Big up my yardie gang. See you soon. And I really just want to be home. Stay safe and give God thanks in everything that you do. Bye.
People might know me as Pickles the Gaijin on YouTube and on Instagram, Twitter. Please follow those pages there. I'm also recording artist. I go by the name Dre Mazing, so check me out on Spotify. And yeah, I have merch, but it's not mine. That's pretty much it. But overall, Japan has been a wonderful experience for me. I have developed as an individual beyond my expectations. I have gone to a country that many people would never go. Many people's dream vacation. I live here. Either way, Jamaica is a dream country because everybody wants to go to Jamaica. I've lived in Jamaica. That's my hometown. That's my place. And I've lived in Japan for some time. So I think I've covered many places on people's bucket lists. And, you know, overall, Japan has its issues like any other country. But if you want somewhere that is pretty much safe and you can earn some decent money, yeah, you can come to Japan. And yeah, that's it. Big up yourself. Staecha, I'm out.
Alright, so I want to thank Staecha very much for having us being a part of this video. I hope that you guys watching the video will learn as much as you can in your preparation for coming here to Japan. We wish you the very best. We hope that all your dreams come true.
And also, if you're serious about coming to Japan, and if you're coming from Jamaica specifically, to teach English in Japan, this is a book that I wrote a little while ago, and it gives you, you know, some comparisons between Jamaica and Japan. It outlines the process of getting a job and working here, what to expect. So it's a very specific guide for Jamaicans who are trying to transition to Japan. So you won't find another book, you know, like this. I might find books about Japan or about teaching English, but this is made just for you if you're that person.
Yeah.
So you can grab this on Kindle, or you can grab the physical copy. It's very light. It's not a long read, but it has some very good information.
Yeah. Okay, and I also make videos of life here in Japan as an English teacher, as a foreigner, and lifestyle videos, also just going about my daily life in Japan, doing the things that I need to get done, adult things, going to the bank, going to the post office, doing all of that stuff that you will of course be doing when you come to Japan. So if you want to check that out, the link to my channel will be in the description box. I'm sure Staecha will provide you with all the goodness. And so guys, thank you again for listening to us. Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. For those who are coming to Japan, and I hope that it gave you guys some amount of perspective as relates to what it's like being here in Japan. I hope that it was informative and it helped you in making a decision about coming to Japan. As always, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.